Change here. Quarter two and about 2 minutes in. Pass to Roy. Here's Rollins. Hits the trifecta. Rollins has got 5 points in the quarter.
He's an absolute beast to deal with for the defense. Sometimes he can even leave you feeling helpless.
And let's swing it over to the sideline and hear from Allie.
Hey. Victor Wembanyama is trying to gain strength, but he said it's important not to lose your mobility. So bulking up is not a good word. It's more being stable. That's the way to keep going. I don't need to bulk up. I need to get my core stronger. I need to get solid. Back to you, Brian.
That approach makes sense. All right, Allie, thanks for the report. Ooh, Howard with a block. Down low. Here's Wembanyama. Oh, Wembanyama throws it down.
I'm always worried about Victor's head hitting the rim.
The shot by Bell, no good.
Yeah, so many times we will see shooters of any caliber miss that wide open three.
And Grant, offensively, Wemby has a lot of different options. Talk about his game.
Well, put simply, we've never seen a 7-footer with this array of skills. He's an efficient shooter from anywhere, and the length to just about ignore defenders. I mean, he's got it all.
Here's Rollins. On target from range. Rollins has got 8.
Well, he was cold in that first quarter. Now it's great to see him flip that switch and start getting hot here.
Pass to Howard. And it's rejected. And they're able to recover. And out of bounds. New Orleans will have it. And New Orleans making a change here. And so the timeout by Quinn Snyder here. He's going to take a moment to give him a breather and talk things over. Teams changing it up here. 1:04 left in the first half. Outside Walker. Three-pointer. Counted from distance. And New Orleans leads by 3.
Wow, their opponent is doing a tremendous job spacing the floor.
The 3. And Miller good for 3. Miller's got himself going with a triple, his first basket of the game. .36 seconds left to play in the second quarter. Walker for 3. It's hauled in by Wembanyama. Miller outside.
First personal foul. First team foul.
Here's Miller. A 3 from the inbound. Good, and the assist to Wembanyama. Now it's a 3-point Spurs lead. Pass to Nowitzki. Takes the 3. He drains that one after 2 misses. Now 1 for 3.
When you can shoot over the top of people and hit a high percentage from out there, you are in rare company.
Launches it. Tie game in San Antonio. And we'll be right back after halftime to get the third quarter underway.
New Orleans 30.
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during halftime. Now Miller. To the middle.
Away team foul. Allen Iverson. Third personal foul. First team foul.
Here's Petrovic. Still no points. O'Neal pulls it in. Here's Iverson. Pass to Bell. Here's the three. It's hauled in by Wembanyama. Here's Miller. Offensive rebound. Howard. And he got the whistle on the way up. So he'll be headed to the line for a pair.
The defense there doing whatever they can to protect the rim.
This is his second trip to the free throw line in this one. The first free throw is good. And one key for quality teams in this league, beating the opponents you're supposed to beat. What goes into that, Grant?
Well, B.A., they call them trap games. An opponent that, on paper, isn't up to your level, especially when they're missing key guys. The thing is, can you find that juice to take care of business?
Inside. Here's Howard. And it's Howard finishing it off. A hard-fought matchup. 7 lead changes thus far.
And these teams have been sparring from the get-go. Neither able to land the knockout blow.
Stripped it away. Back to Wembanyama. Stolen by Daniels. Here we go. Here's Bell. Here's O'Neal. And he goes in for the dunk.
This game has been like a seesaw. Both teams going back and forth at one another.
We see this in the NBA all the time. It is very difficult to keep a lead in this league.
That's number 4 on him. He's still got a little wiggle room, but if he picks up a 5th, that could be a problem.
Here's Petrovic. He's scoreless. Just 4 to shoot. San Antonio needs to get off a shot. And here's the fast break. Here's O'Neal. And the finish on the break with the slam.
And it's energy like that on both ends of the floor that's got them out ahead.
From 20 feet. And he gets the kind bounce as that one drops in. Miller's got his 3rd basket on the night right there. Here's New Orleans now. They lead by 1. Here's Bell. That three's off the mark.
He struggles shooting the rock, yet they're still winning. It's a good thing his teammates have played well. And this is exactly who you want taking that shot. He just missed it.
And a foul called on the way up. So he'll take 2 from the free throw line.
Man, the defender really went after him.
New Orleans shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight. So Mark Daigneault will call a timeout. He'll take the opportunity to regroup. So it's both teams making substitutions here. He makes 1 of 2 that time. San Antonio trailing here. Over to the wing. Right around 3 minutes into this second half. And here's Curry for 3. It's hauled in by New Orleans.
And at this point, the defense is daring him to shoot.
Pass to Rollins. And they pick up 2. Rollins has got 10.
In the NBA, you just can't let guys get to the rim.
To the inside. Kirilenko. And he dunks it. What a pass to set him up.
And that's why it's so tough trying to defend Curry in pick and rolls. When you think he's looking to score, he can find a teammate with the pass.
Pass to Fears. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Fears has gotten his second bucket on the night.
And force-feeding the ball inside. I mean, no reason to go away from what's working.
Here's Curry. And he'll draw the foul. He'll head to the line for 2.
Well, you never want to foul Steph Curry. Quite simply, the greatest shooter we've ever seen.
And a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for New Orleans.
Well, you love their unselfish play. Keeping that ball moving, good shot to great. That's winning basketball.
I really like their effort in transition tonight, constantly pushing the pace and then turning that into points.
There's 38 seconds left in the third. Look at Steph Curry cooking it up inside.
Yeah, that's just a great decision by Curry, and it's the right read at the right time.
Walker for 3. Doesn't go for him.
Great box out. Walled him off and hauled it in.
Stolen by Russell. Let's go with a 3. Here's Smith. Oh, he just jams it right over Stephen Curry.
Oh, man. He got fancy with that finish.
He may be trying to provide the spark they need to break this one open. 3 quarters of play and a close one here. It's New Orleans. They're up by 3. And don't. 3 tense quarters behind us. 1 more to go. Thanks for being with us as we get ready for the 4th. And we've got a timeout called by Mark Daigneault. He clearly wants to talk it over and make sure everyone is focused. All right, let's get a report from Allie.
Thanks, guys. Mark Daigneault had some words for his team over the last break. First and foremost, he wants to see more points in the break. He asked his team, where's the urgency? We know what we can do in transition. Now let's go out and do it. We'll see if they can pick up the tempo, guys.
Great work, Allie. Thanks. And he can't hit the second. Spurs trail by 3. Pass to Curry. And now New Orleans on the break.
And this kind of sick slam is just one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game right now, B.A.
You know, there's an edge the way they play and a confidence they're not afraid to show. From the high post. That one's good. Nothing but net.
And that is exactly why Curry is must-see TV.
Here's Iverson. On the wing, Daniels. And it's good. 2 points. And New Orleans leads by 5.
That's been typical of their performance today. They're sharing the ball and creating good shots.
To the middle. And he jams it home with authority.
You gotta love his unselfishness, and you know his coach does as well.
His willingness to share the ball elevates this offense.
He didn't have his feet planted.
Away team foul. First personal foul. Second team foul.
On the wing, Curry. The baseline J. That won't go either for Curry. New Orleans leading by 7. Drives to the hoop. And that's a foul called on Stephen Curry. That's his first foul. And Mark Daigneault has called a timeout. He wants their game plan to be crystal clear at this point. About a minute and a half through the 4th quarter now. Howard grabs the miss. On offense, here is San Antonio. They trail by 7. Here's Miller. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Curry.
And that was the right decision. When you're in need of a bucket, you go to your most trusted guys.
Yeah, when you're coming down the stretch, you don't want any wasted possession.
Miller. The three is off.
Well, he made a couple of shots early, but since the half, he just can't seem to find his rhythm.
Outside O'Neal. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Daniels fires. Oh, the confidence. That was deep.
They are passing the ball around tremendously right now.
Wembanyama. Oh, Wembanyama hitting from deep.
This demonstrates leadership. Victor wanting to be the guy to make the big shot.
Here's Daniels. Here's Bell. He launches. Wembanyama rips down the board. Spurs trail by 5.
Second personal foul. 13.
He gets the first, and that shrinks the margin to just 4. Miller hits them both.
Free throw shooting comes into focus in tight games. As usual, he's up to the task.
We've got 1:48 left to the fourth quarter. Oh, no good on the layup. Right side Curry. Outside Wembanyama. Here's Posey. 6 to shoot. Now Miller puts it up. Can't get it.
Just showing some tremendous authority controlling the boards. Love it.
He just wants the ball more than anybody else on the floor, and it's ending up in his hands as a result.
Oh my. What a display of effort.
That's his bread and butter, right? Chasing down the boards.
And he showed you great timing as well. Offensive rebounding, one of his specialties. Well, he is really filling it up, but also keeping others involved.
Curry. Blocked. Oh, he jammed it.
Finishing the game strong. This is how you shut the door on any hopes of a comeback.
Yeah, any thought of losing this game has been put to bed.
Curry! Ooh, rising fire. 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Stolen by Miller.
At this point, it just feels like it's over.
Yeah, anything they do at this point is going to be futile. Too little, too late.
Oh, nice setup for the slam. Going inside, and so it's New Orleans winning this one. Just a gutsy performance on the road.
It really was. When this one was up in the air late, they showed how tough-minded they are as a team.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast.